Hi everybody, Lonna Lamb here. A little bit of a different intro. We're going to be painting a bottle opener today. I've been doing quite a few of these lately. I'm going to be giving some away at my Palooza classes this year. I just want to show you different ways that you can paint them because your imagination can go anywhere with these and you can have so much fun. This one started out red. This one was pink. This one was green. I think this one might have been orange, but I'm not 100% sure what color that one started out. But I'll have a video on my YouTube for this one. This one I'm doing a live on my YouTube channel, and this one is on this video, how I did this one up. So incredibly quick. It's my favorite one. I have to tell you, it's my favorite one because I love antiques, and I just wanted this one to look old and antique, and like it's been places. The bottle openers come like this, just a plain color, in a multitude of colors. They are assorted colors on my website. You don't know what color you'll get. You can't choose a color because I just grab in the box and send one. When you order them, or 5, 6. Some people have been ordering 5 and 6. So head over to my website, Lonna Lamb, and grab your bottle openers. I will keep these in stock through probably June. My website is closing like July 23rd. I'm reevaluating my website and all that stuff, so it's going to be closed for a little while. But you can grab these clear up until like July 23rd, somewhere around that area. Use coupon code SHOPNOW for 20% off your total order when you shop at lonnalamb.com. It's good all the way until July 23rd. So there you go. But this is how they come, and this is what we turn them into. So much fun. I absolutely loved painting these. Some of these are going to be giveaways for my classes at Palooza, so I'm looking forward to that. So if you want to paint one of these up, head to lonnalamb.com and grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you want, and we're going to paint one up today. This one super fast design, and I think you're going to find out how easy it is and how fun it is. So let's grab our paints and supplies and let's get painting. Alright, let's start working on this bottle opener. This is the original color that it came. Now you can leave them completely the original color. You don't have to paint them, but I like to paint them. So I've already applied 1 coat of paint adhesion medium onto this surface. Now this particular one that I sell has these little bumps right here. It's just where they took some of the plastic and made little dots, like grip dots. But you don't really need them. My original ones don't have them. So I just took a utility knife here and I just cut them right off nice and flat. And I do sell these knives on my website as well as the bottle openers. So I've got the 1 cone of paint adhesion medium on it. And so now I'm just going to mix the paint adhesion medium, I'll spit it out there, with my paint. And I'm going to begin painting. Now this is a pretty dark color green, so it may take me 3 coats to get this on. You can use a sponge to paint as well. You don't have to use a brush. I'm going to paint the top part and get it all smoothed out as best I can, and then dry it so I can grip it up here and then go and paint the lower part. And I will do this 3 or 4 times, however many times it takes to get this a different, to get the color that I want it to be. Make sure you don't have paint puddling in any of your areas, like around those little nub things, and down in this area right here. It's the part that pries up. You don't want to have a bunch of paint just sitting there. Make sure you get your edges, and then I'm going to dry this with my heat tool, dry enough so that I can grip it and paint the lower part. It's a pretty thin coat, so it won't take too long. Again, let me smooth this out here. That's kind of thick. I don't want it to dry thick there. Whatever color you want to paint your, if you're wanting to change it up completely and paint it, you can just go right in, mix your paint adhesion, oh goodness, I'm having a hard time with that word today. Put your paint adhesion medium mixed in with your paint, and you can just go and paint directly onto your surface here. So I'll finish this first coat. I'm going to go off camera and dry it and I know I'm going to need at least 2 more coats because I'm changing this color to such a light color. Let me feel it. It doesn't feel wet. That's what I don't want it to feel wet. So paint adhesion medium and my paint mixed together. Just mix it right there. I like to use a larger brush so I can give nice long strokes here. Plenty of paint in my brush. Smooth it out. If you use a sponge, you're going to have some texture in there. I have used a sea sponge on some of my other ones and created like a mottled look on the background. And it does leave a little bit of a textured surface, but it is not overly textured. So I really like that, using a sea sponge. All right, I want to make sure my edges have some paint. I don't want thick paint anywhere, so if you're seeing a thick area of paint, smooth it out. Alright, I'm going to dry this. And then again, I will go off camera and get, 2 more coats on here to make it look like that color that I have chosen for this. I could have gone with a little bit darker of a color. I did have some options, but I liked this color, and I think for what I'm going to do to it, it's going to work out pretty good. So I'm going to go off camera and get 2 more coats onto this. Okay, so I've got it dry, but I'm really struggling a little bit what I want to put on it. My original idea was to just take some postage stamps and put all over it and make it look like it's traveled the world. And so you can use some paint to do this, or some Stays-On. I have some Timber Brown here. Let's see if I've got any left in the pad, because I think this is the color I want to try and use on here. We'll give it a shot, see if I even like it. So let me ink this up. And I want it to be rustic and, I don't want it to be perfect. Now see, that's a lot of ink on there. I'm going to set that aside and remove a little bit of the ink off of it. And then I'm just going to pick another one. And this is a set that I got on Amazon, so I'll be sure and have the link for this particular set. I think this one says First Class. I'm going to do the front side and the back side. And just really play around with it. This is just a star with some lines coming off of it. I'm going to tap that one onto my paper towel so it doesn't leave quite so much on there. Still left a lot. This one is really cute because it's like a Paris stamp. I think I'm going to put it on. Oh, okay, it just slid, so it's probably going to be a mess. A little bit of a mess. Okay. Let's see what else we want to use here. That's a great big huge one. I could use parts of it, but I think I'll use a little bit of this one. No idea what it says or anything. And we can overlap them, and they don't have to all. See, that one doesn't have very much ink left on it. Kind of like that with not very much ink on it. So yeah, it's up to you what you want to use. What does that say? Arrived. So yeah, just play around with your stamps, whatever stamps you got. You know, you don't have to do it like I'm doing it. But I thought this would be kind of fun and interesting. I'm going to dry that, and then I'm going to go around to the sides and the back. You don't have to do the back, really. You only need to do the top, but I think it kind of brings it all together when you do it all the way around. So that is an option for you guys, whatever you want to do. Alright, so I've got it dry. Before you flip it over, maybe take a paper towel and lay on it and make sure none of your ink is still wet. Mine is pretty dry, it looks like. None of the ink came off on my paper towel. So I'm going to go over to this side. You want to make sure your ink pad is out of the way when you're drying. This is still a little bit warm, so I really should let it cool down a little bit. And I'm going to do some on this side. And just grab all the ones that I've already used and, you know, just put some here and there. Because the back side, you know, only you are going to see it probably, so put some up here, maybe some of this one up here. Oh, I didn't have a lot of ink left on it, so now I'm just going in with what ink is left on some of my stamps here. I think I'm running out of ink on them now, so not leaving a whole lot. I do want a little bit more down here. Maybe that Eiffel Tower on there. Now this look isn't for everybody, so I say do what you like. I have done quite a few painted ones. I thought a stamped one would be lots of fun, so I'm going to dry this so we can add a little bit of shading on here and get ready to varnish it. Okay, so while your ink is drying, it's a good time to just wipe your stamps clean of the ink, and I just use a baby wipe, and then you can just kind of tap dry them on clean dry paper towel, and they're ready to put back on your paper that they came off of, so they're ready to use again. Such a fun set, and this particular set has 4 different styles of stamps, so you've got a good variety in the packages. Okay, so we're done with that, and we're done with our ink, because we're going to paint on it now with just some acrylic paint. Now you want to make sure that it's cool. That's still slightly warm. I'm just going to use some Deco Art burnt umber. I've only used one brush for this. I'm going to get a little bit of water on my palette here. And then we'll just do some like shading to really age it up a little bit. You could go with an asphaltum or a raw umber. Probably a raw umber would be good because it would match the ink a little bit more, but we're just going to go with what we've got here. Could probably even do like a soft black color, which is just like burnt umber with a little bit of black in it. Just kind of aging it up. I think it looks great. Okay. Put a little bit on this edge here. Not much in my brush. I'm just using an old brush here. Kind of age up the sides. That's looking super cute, I think. Go up here and do our topper. Again, I'm not using much paint here. Just giving it a weathered look. Only putting the paint on one edge of the brush, one little corner over here. The other side's just got water. So if I need to kind of blend anything out, I can certainly do that. This is also going to help if you get paint on your I am doing a little bit of more wet paint, keeping it thin, you know. I'm going to put a little bit down here, just wherever you want it to look a little bit more weathered and worn. Burnt umber is transparent, and that is the reason that I selected it. Put a little bit in there. I'm going to wipe my brush off so I can come back and just kind of blend that out a little bit. I'm going to take some of this out of the center though, so I'm going to clean my brush and just have water and take a little bit of that right out of the center so we can have a little bit more of the lighter, the original background color here. Super cute. Again, this look is not for everybody, so I say do what makes you happy. You want some kind of more artistic painted piece, then you can certainly go check out some of my other videos and see how I painted a couple more of these. Okay, I want to get some of that paint out of the center right there. Don't want it to completely fill it. Let's see if I can't smooth that a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. That side looks pretty good. Shouldn't take very long for it to dry because it is just a very watery paint. Okay, I really like that. That looks super cute. I'm going to give it just a quick dry just to make sure that paint is set, because I'm going to move on and varnish it. Normally I would let the paint dry for about an hour, make sure it's good and cured and that the ink is good and cured. But we're going to move right into doing our varnish. So varnish is definitely a personal preference. You want a satin sheen, you want a matte finish where it has no sheen at all, which would look great, really great on this one. You want a high gloss varnish or a glaze on it. You have some options. Okay, so here's the ones I've done in the past. This one has triple thick on it. Now it is a gloss glaze. It's thick. It's self-leveling. You need to have water in your brush, blend it with the triple thick, brush it on, then get out of it, okay? Don't play around with it because then you're going to have all that texture in there because it's going to start lifting, it's going to start drying, it's not going to self-level anymore, so you got to get it on and get out. So that's how you use that one. This one's pretty much the same way. The high gloss, you want to get it on. You have a little bit more time to work with this one than you do the other one, and you know, get out of it, let it dry, it will self-level a little bit and you'll have a nice beautiful sheen on yours. Now on all of mine I do 3 coats because I want them durable. I don't want any paint to lift off of anything. So this one is done with the triple thick. These 2 I use the high gloss. Okay, your other option is a satin varnish, which is going to give it just a little bit of sheen, which is beautiful. And then you also have a matte varnish, which is going to give it pretty flat finish. I think this one would look super great with a matte varnish. I'm going to give it a try and see if I'm going to like it. So I'm going to put some on my plate here. I'm going to shake it up a little bit. Make sure it's good to store them upside down. So, you know, any of the finished stuff usually settles down into the bottom. So if you can store them upside down, then when you turn them right side up, it's going to mix a little bit easier and you don't have to do quite so much shaking. So let's put this on here. I'm going to grab my brush and I dipped it into my water. Okay, let me see if I can get that in the shot. Okay, I am going to dip it into my water, touch it to my paper towel just to get a little bit of the extra out, but I've still got water in my brush. I guess I'm going to start down here. And I'm going to apply this in here in a nice smooth coat. I've got a lot right there, so I'm going to wipe my brush and, you know, remove that and then just smooth it out. Now you really want your paint to be really dry when you do this, because we just put a light layer of paint around the edges, and if you go in too soon, your paint's not had a good amount of time to cure, you're going to lift that paint probably off of there because it won't have had time to cure, and anything that has moisture is going to cause it to lift. Okay, we don't want to have any thick stuff, any runs or anything like that. Smooth coat. Move this out of the way because I'm going to dry this. And if you don't like a matte finish, certainly do whatever finish that you like. But because I made this look like old and antique-y, like it's been around a long time, I thought I would go with the matte finish on this one. Again, I'm going to apply 3 coats, and that's dry enough for me to move on and do the top. Don't have so much in your brush that it is just oozing everywhere. This is just dry enough for me to handle. It's not completely dry. It's still got a little tackiness to it, I can tell. So I'm not gripping it real hard because I don't want any of that to run down. We don't want a bunch of paint down in here or around these things, or varnish I guess I should say. So make sure you smooth out around those, okay? Get in your inside edge good. All right, now is a good time to dry this one. I will go off camera and put 2 more coats on. It's done the exact same way. Now I do want to point out, if I am using triple thick, okay, so if I use this one, I'm going to apply 1 coat, let it dry for 24 hours. I'm going to, you know, just lightly dry it so that I can put varnish on the whole thing. Then I'm going to let it dry completely for 24 hours. Each coat will dry completely for 24 hours before I add the next one, and the last coat 24 hours before you actually use it. This one I can dry, these 2, actually all of these, I can allow to dry 1 hour and then apply the next coat, and so on and so on. So, you know, these go a little bit quicker. This one is a hard finish because it's glaze. But, you know, looking at them, you can't tell. This one is triple thick. These 2 are high gloss. Looks like the same finish to me. So the working time is a little bit different. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish all 3 coats and allow it to completely dry. you know, probably for a couple days to get all those layers down through there completely dry, because, you know, I did this one on camera, so I did it very quickly. So do allow your layers to dry. I generally allow my base coat of paint to dry for an hour to make sure it's good and bonded with that surface before I come in and add all this pretty stuff on top. Okay, all the stamping, all the painting. I generally let the base coat cure for an hour, come in, add this in, you know, I dry in between layers, and then once I've got all my layers on, I let it dry for another hour. I want to make sure everything is bonded to this plastic, okay? And then I come in with my varnishes. Whatever one that you choose to do will be absolutely fine. So I'm going to go off camera and get 2 more coats onto this. Then we're going to call this one done. This one will not have any sheen on it. Maybe just a slight. This looks like it might have a slight sheen on it. I mean, satin varnish will have a little bit of a sheen on it. Matte generally doesn't have a sheen on it, but I don't know, maybe that's not completely cured right there. But this one here doesn't look like it has much of a shine, but it could have just a slight shine to it. A ultra matte won't have any shine to it. So I'll get my other 2 coats on here. I'm going to let this dry a little bit, get my other 2 coats on, and then I'll have 4 beautiful bottle openers to use. This one I've had for 12 years. This one I've had probably about the same amount of years, but I just painted it up a few days ago. And then these will probably be giveaways for my classes. So I'm thinking I might give these away to my Oklahoma City classes. We'll see. I'll do a drawing and someone will win one. We'll see. So that's my goal, but I have enjoyed painting this with you. Actually, I painted and stamped this one with you. This one, if you want to see it, it is on a video on my YouTube channel. You can catch that one. And then this one I did as a live. You can also catch this particular one, how I did it, because it is completely different than how I did this one, the background and everything, different techniques. So lots of fun. I hope that you have enjoyed this. Please give me a comment. Comments help a lot. Please give me a thumbs up. Please share and please subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Bye-bye.